Hi there, I'm Christopher Dunn again. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the indoor Hubbardton forge mini pendant called the Henry. This is going to be the smaller of the sizes in all metal. 184250 is the number. Let's get into details on it. So when we talk about the size of the fixture body, that's going to be independent of what it's hanging from, which are these telescoping rods I'll talk about in just a little bit. This is 7.3 inches tall, 9.2 inches in diameter. There are larger sizes, also with glass shades. Check them out too if you get a chance. When we talk about overall height, now we're talking about the distance from the bottom of that shade to the actual ceiling itself, and that's going to be including these telescoping rods. If you're familiar with Hubbardton Forge, they have a patent on this whole telescoping rod system where this rod telescopes into this rod, the bigger rod. Where they come together is called a clutch, and there's a little set screw right here. So during your installation, you're going to be able to bring this up and down, getting it where you want it to be. When you have it where you want it to be, you use a little, this guy right here. Okay, you can barely see it. It's a tiny little hex wrench, and that's going to go into that tiny little hex screw, tightening it, and it's going to lock this into place so it can't go up and down anymore. So that said, you're going to have 3 different adjustable heights that you can get, and they're in the pull-down menu up there on the screen. Choose your length. So again, measure from the bottom of the fixture to the ceiling, don't forget. 29.1 to 36.8 is going to be the short. There's going to be a standard, and that's going to be 35.2 to 43.2. After that, you're going to have the long. That's going to be 45 to 52.7. If you need this to be shorter than the short. So let's say you're going to put 3 of these over your kitchen island and you need a shorter one to go over the kitchen sink for some reason. You want it to be super short. We can do customs, or you need it to be longer than the long. You're going to send me an email. It's going to say, I'm looking at the 184250 Henry and I need it to be this long. And you're going to give me a solid number. So you're going to say 22 inches overall height or 150 inches overall height. Solid number. I'm going to take that email, send it through Hubbardton Forge's customs department, which we do every day. They're going to come back to me most likely with a range that can encompass the number that you gave me. So, and we do it every day. It adds a little time and money, but it's super simple, and it's just part of what we do here. Okay. So on top of this is a couple things. So this is your canopy. This is going to go over your 4-inch junction box, which is this guy right here. Okay, standard junction box. This is very light. Just hangs from a normal box, no weight restriction. This is the back of it, so you can see how it goes on. 5-inch round, okay? This has a knuckle built at the top of it, and the knuckle is right here, and it allows this to be slope ceiling adaptable automatically. You don't have to do any custom on it to do it to get it to that point. It goes like that. So here's your slope. Here's your 45-degree slope, and it can pivot right back to flat, so you're all set there too. Okay, let's get into a couple other quick little things. So we'll talk about more about finishes, but the thing about this is you get to choose the finish for the conical shade, and that could be one finish. You get to choose a finish for all the rest of the fixture, and those little prongy parts that come out and hit the shade, that's going to be the fixture part of this. So you can put them all in the same finish, or you can do contrasting finishes, which looks pretty cool too. A lot of people do like a lighter shade, maybe a soft gold or a burnished steel, and they'll do the rest of it in maybe black or dark smoke. Looks awesome. The one little tiny point, the rivets that are on holding those two things together are always going to be in a brass, so always keep that in mind, okay? So, and we'll talk about more in finishes just a little bit. Let's talk about this, and this is going to be the socket. It's going to be using a medium base socket, which is just the easy one we all grew up with. You can use incandescent if you want to. You can go up to 100 watts if you want to. It's a dimmable fixture, so don't be afraid about that part of it. Recommended bulb is an A19, and that is our little friend right here. So this is just a standard size light bulb we all grew up with. Don't think you're locked into this as far as size goes, because the bottom of it's obviously open, so you can put in whatever you guys like. A lot of people are going to be using these kind of decorative Edison bulbs. They have that little tiny point on top, which are pretty cool. Gives it that old-timey look. If you don't want to go so much there, you can actually go for kind of a hybrid of that, and these are actually LED versions. This is an A19, this is an A15 size of this kind of Edison look. So don't be afraid to kind of play around as far as bulbs go. Again, it's a dimmable fixture. If you want to go LED, I talk about all the time that you want to zero in on the color of the light coming out of the LEDs when you're at your store or you're online. Make sure you kind of look at the box, look at the chart on the back. So LEDs, this is a phosphorus one, and it's dimmable, don't forget. it can be as warm as like this incandescent light coming, well, this is actually LED, but it feels like an incandescent light. It's a very warm light. This is kind of that 2700, 3000 glow that we all kind of grew up with in these bulbs. Remember these guys? Okay, so that's going to be a warm white, and you can get that down here. That's going to be 3000 Kelvin. Daylight, which is the light coming outside, is that white or bluish light, and that's going to be 4000, 5000 Kelvin. Some people really like that. It's not my big choice for me, but it could be for you. So just kind of keep it in mind. You can, and bulbs are cheap, so you can kind of play around with colors of light coming down. So just keep all of that in mind when you're looking for bulbs. Let's get into finishes now. If you're on the HandmadeInVermont.com website, look over on this side of the screen. Midway down, you're going to see a tab. It's going to say Finishes Help Guide. Click on that for me. There's going to be a video on there of me talking to you guys about the differences in Hubbardton forged finishes and how they can look on different types of forging. I'm going to be talking about a chart a little farther down on the page. You'll see it next to me here. It's going to kind of go over the differences between heavy forging and non-heavy forging, and it'll be talked about in that video. So it's really important that you kind of watch the video, use the chart. You can click on that chart on different things. So you can click on dark smoke and a big page will pop up and show you lots of different things in dark smoke. Click on burnished steel or natural iron, it'll do the same thing. But it's really important that you understand how Hubbardton Forge's finishes are kind of divided into translucent and opaque and how they can look on different fixtures. Our showroom in Vermont has we're up to 400 Hubbardton Forge fixtures spread across 2 floors. We have a What's on Display page. It's way up there in those red tabs again, so click on that and you can see what we have to show you. That changes all the time because we're always adding things as they come out. Showroom's open every day except Sunday from 11 to 6. We have an amazing clearance center here too. Clearance center stuff is 75% off MSRP. It's returns, discontinued things, and showroom samples. If you were coming to visit us, bring a good-sized vehicle, something like a big SUV or maybe a small truck or something like that, because you might find something in the clearance center that you want to take home, and it's a lot of fun to go through. 75% off MSRP is an amazing bargain, so you should really take advantage of it if you can. Like I said, we're open every day except Sunday from 11 to 6. I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. You can call us at 802-446-2400 during business hours. You can email us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all the time. We love to answer emails. When you buy your Hubbardton Forge fixtures from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. There's no tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont, and we're the only dealer with 90-day returns and no restocking fees. No one else even comes close to that. Some larger items are non-returnable. We'll always tell you about that. It'll be in the description thing, that part of the description underneath on the very bottom. So keep an eye out for that. We also offer a rush program. Hubbardton Forge generally takes about 3 to 4 weeks to get product out. They don't stock anything. That's how you're going to get all your finishes, your adjustable ranges to play with, all those things. We can cut that time in half, and it's super inexpensive. If you want to know more, drop a quick email, and I can walk you through the whole thing, okay? So if you guys have any other questions, let me know. Love to see you in our showroom sometime, and have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.